Hey boo-boos, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience and my overall on hormones, HRT. For you guys that know it, and for this, I'm not going to be putting on makeup so you guys can see. Yeah, so stay tuned. So number one, if you're going to take HRT, you have to be sure that you want to become female. Because the number one thing is that you end up losing the ability to have kids later on. So if you're trying to have kids later on, it's best you talk to your doctor and, you know, like freeze some of your semen for later on. So yeah, no. So I've been in hormones for about 5 years. I started them when I was 23. I'm now 27. And yes, I've seen some differences, but you know, not major. I mean, if you want dramatic, you know, like results, then you would have to go and do surgery like Nikita Dragon, like all these influencers, but I'm trying to minimize that. But the thing for you, if you really want to look more feminine, you have to start HRT when you're super young, because later on you start consuming testosterone and you end up looking like a man basically. So if you're in your teens and you are for sure, if you're 16, 15, and you're positive, maybe even younger, if you're positive that you want to move forward, then, I mean, consult with your parents and get on HRT. So yeah, and then, well, and then another thing is breast tissue growth. I kind of already had some because I was chunky back then. I mean, I'm still kind of chunky now, but it's healthy weight. But yes, I have had growth. They're not super big, but I mean, I'm okay with them. But yeah, get ready for your breasts to grow. And yes, the first 3 months, 4 months, it was painful because your tissue, or you basically feel a ball growing on your breast, and it gets really painful if you bump into something. You can't even touch them because it hurts. I mean, it hurt. Mine hurted for at least 2 months, and then it stopped hurting. And then yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, but they'll grow, but they won't grow like D's or like C's, you know. You would have to get implants if you really want to get, you know, larger breasts later on. Another thing that I noticed is acne. I literally had so much acne, and then I started HRT and I started seeing smoothness of my skin. It's like super smooth. But then you had to help it too. You literally had to have a skincare routine, moisturize, you know, obvious. But I did notice difference with HRT. I noticed I haven't had breakouts. It's weird for me to have a breakout now. But when my body had testosterone, that makes you have acne. So I have some scars from that, but HRT really did help with my acne. For me, it did, because I haven't had acne, and it really smooths out your skin. But like I said, you really have to have a good skincare routine, and yeah, just be on it, seriously. The thing is hair growth. Well, I have a beard because I'm letting it grow, because then if you put makeup on and keep shaving and shaving, you get those bumps. So I try to shave when I really know that I'm going to go out and I'm going to put on makeup on. But these days, like, where are you going to go out? So I let it grow. But hair growth, it's really slow and less. Fine hairs grow. Because I used to have hairy legs, like hairy man legs. And now since I started HRT, well, this was 5 years ago, I noticed less thicker hair and more of those fine thin hairs, you know. So that's another thing. But I mean, you have the alternative. You could have hair laser removal, which I'm thinking of, but right now it's like really, for me, it's really expensive. So right now it's just like shave when you know you're gonna need to put makeup on, so you don't have those bumps or that 5 o'clock shadow coming out. So yeah, the thing that people think that HRT is gonna take care of is voice. That actually is not true. I mean, I have some friends that thought that being on HRT was gonna help them with their voice, be more feminine. And that actually is not true. That you have to work on yourself and practice. Because there is some pretty ass girls out there that, you know, maybe had surgery or maybe not. And they have like the deep man voice, you know, but they're pretty. But yeah, another thing is just practice on your voice.